Jeff Bezos didn't just throw a wedding, he staged a global spectacle, Venice, a 16th century basilica, a private island shut down for A-listers, ferried in by candlelit gondolas. Lauren Sánchez in a custom Dolce & Gabbana lace gown, now plastered across Vogue's digital cover. Tom Brady showed up. Oprah showed up. Even the military got involved, locking down parts of the city to keep protesters out. But while the champagne flowed and the violins played outside the fantasy bubble, the hate was brewing. Because for a lot of people, this wasn't just a wedding, it was a $50 million middle finger to reality. Charlize Theron did not hold back. While speaking at a charity event, she veered off script and straight up torched Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sánchez. "I think we might be the only people who didn't get invited to the Bezos wedding," she said. "But that's okay, because they suck and we're cool," on stage, into a microphone in front of donors. And then came the F-bomb. She flat out shouted, "Yeah, f*** them." The crowd, visibly stunned, and the internet, completely divided. Some fans praised her for speaking truth to power. Others said she sounded jealous and bitter she didn't get an invite. But this wasn't just random shade. This was the opening shot of what looked like a full-on celebrity revolt. And Charlize wasn't alone. Just when you thought the drama couldn't get messier. Rosie O'Donnell entered the chat, but instead of a tweet or an Instagram post, she dropped a poem. Yes, a literal poem. In it, she called Lauren Sánchez a fake fembot wife and said watching the wedding turned her stomach. She even questioned Oprah. Yes, Oprah, asking how someone who built her brand on empathy and empowerment could be partying with Bezos. "He treats his employees with disdain," Rosie wrote. "By any metric, he's not a nice man." She didn't stop there. Referring to Bezos' first wife, Mackenzie Scott, who's donated billions to charity, Rosie asked, why would he leave her for this AI-looking woman? And then came the line that made headlines, "He sold his soul. The devil is smiling at all his conquests." Whether you agree or not, Rosie wasn't just throwing shade. She brought the whole umbrella. Just when you thought this drama had peaked, the internet served up something even wilder than the wedding itself. An AI-generated video of Lauren Sánchez started making the rounds. And it was so eerily on brand, people genuinely thought it might be real. In the video, a hyper-polished, eerily perfect Lauren looks straight at the camera and says, "We didn't forget to invite Charlize. It was a choice. We invited friends, not spectators with opinions from the sidelines." And just like that, boom, one line. A digital slap in the face. The AI version of Lauren came across as colder, sharper, and somehow more believable than the real one. The voice, unbothered. The expression, flawless. The message, brutal. Memes exploded. AI Lauren was suddenly more iconic than Vogue Lauren. Some fans praised the burn. She said it without saying it. Others were creeped out. If Lauren didn't approve this, she probably should have. And a few asked the obvious. Wait, is this what she really thinks? But whether it was satire, fan-made, or some next-level PR stunt, one thing was clear. Fake Lauren clocked Charlize harder than any tabloid ever could. And just when the smoke from that roast started to clear, Jessica Alba stepped into the fire. Out of all the celebrities who showed up at the Bezos wedding, Jessica Alba was the last person people expected to catch heat. But when photos of her at the $50 million extravaganza started circulating, people lost it. Why? Because Jessica isn't just an actress. She's on the board of Baby Baby, a nonprofit that helps children living in poverty get basic necessities like diapers, formula, and clothes. And the woman photographed beside her at the wedding, Kelly Sawyer, the co-CEO of that very same nonprofit. So while millions of families across the U.S. struggle to afford food and baby wipes, Jessica and Kelly were sipping Prosecco in Venice, posing with billionaires and watching fireworks light up the sky. The internet did not hold back. How do you run a charity for struggling moms and then party with the people keeping them broke? You're kissing Bezos' ring while kids can't afford diapers. One viral reel flat out called the photo unhinged. The backlash was fast and brutal, and Jessica hasn't said a word. But for many online, it wasn't just tone deaf. It was a betrayal of the very cause she claims to champion, and that silence is getting louder. Now, here's where things get weird. Eva Longoria, one of Lauren Sanchez's closest friends, was noticeably absent from the wedding. She was at the bachelorette party alongside Katy Perry and the inner circle, but when it came time for the big day, Eva was at the beach, literally. While Bezos and Sanchez were exchanging vows in a basilica, Eva was posting serene ocean pics miles away from the drama, nowhere near Venice. Her reason? She's reportedly filming the third season of her CNN show, Eva Longoria, Searching for Spain. But Spain is like a 2-hour flight from Venice, so unless her crew was shooting in a submarine, fans aren't buying it. You had time for the bachelorette party, but not the wedding. She ghosted her own bestie's wedding? Speculation exploded. Did Eva see the backlash coming? Did she silently disapprove of the excess? Or was there a quiet falling out that nobody's talking about? Whatever the reason, Eva's absence didn't go unnoticed. And in a sea of celebrities eager to be seen, her silence might have been the loudest message of all. After all the outrage, protests, and celebrity side-eyes, everyone was waiting for one thing: Jeff Bezos' response. Would he defend the wedding, apologize, or laugh it off? Well, he didn't do any of that. Instead, Bezos responded in a way only the world's second richest man could, by not responding at all, while saying everything. Let's break it down. First, the AI video, a digital power move, that viral AI-generated Lauren Sánchez clip, where she calmly claps back at Charlize Theron with, "It wasn't an oversight, it was a choice. It was cold, calculated, brutal." And while no one officially claimed it, insiders believe it wasn't just some random fan edit. The timing was too perfect, the message too sharp. Many suspect it was a quiet flex from Team Bezos, a way to respond without having to get his hands dirty. And the message was clear: we see the backlash, and we're unbothered. Second, the Venice donation, damage control, or decency. Days after the wedding, headlines appeared. Bezos donates millions to Venice conservation. Sounds noble, right? But critics immediately labeled it as PR damage control. You throw a $50 million wedding in a fragile city, then write a check to clean up the optics. Others saw it as a strategic way to counter the narrative. Hey, I am giving back. Look at all this good I'm doing. But here's the catch. Most locals weren't even mad about the wedding. It was the rest of the world that saw it as a symbol of tone-deaf luxury. And no donation, no matter how big, could erase the image of a billionaire shutting down a city while the rest of the world burned. Third, the Florida move. The billionaire loophole playbook right before the wedding, Bezos officially changed his residence to Florida. Why does that matter? Florida has 0 state income tax, meaning by making the switch, Bezos is saving hundreds of millions in taxes every year. Meanwhile, he continues quietly selling off Amazon stock. No big statements, no headlines, just another billionaire playing the system. Fourth, the restaurant story, the richest man doesn't look at the bill. Then came a bizarre viral confession from a restaurant server. They said Bezos came in with security, had dinner, and when the bill arrived, he didn't even look at it. The tab was handed straight to his security guards, who paid it and left a standard 20% tip. He didn't thank the staff, didn't make eye contact, just walked out like it never happened. And sure, 20% is fine, but when you're worth over $200 billion and the world is dragging you for being out of touch, that kind of behavior just adds fuel to the fire, especially when celebs like Steve Carell are out here tipping $1,000 on a $400 bill. One feels human. The other feels robotic, detached, and that more than anything is what people are reacting to. It's not just the money, it's the optics, the disconnection. In a world drowning in inequality, Bezos is floating above it all, like it doesn't exist. And while he may not have grabbed a mic or fired back on Twitter, his silence was its own kind of response. I see the outrage, I hear the noise, and I still don't care. The wedding is over. The guests have flown home. The gray carpet has been rolled up and stored away, but the backlash, it's still echoing. And now, the big question isn't just what happened, it's who's actually in trouble here. Is it Jeff Bezos? On paper, Bezos should be the obvious target. He spent $50 million on a wedding in a country grappling with economic strain and climate anxiety. He dodges taxes, ignores restaurant bills, and throws lavish parties while the internet burns. But here's the thing, he's bulletproof. The protests came and went, the memes went viral, the criticism flared, and then faded. And Bezos, he went back to flying private and watching the stock market go up. When you're worth over $200 billion, controversy isn't a threat. It's background noise. So no, Jeff isn't the one really at risk. Is it Lauren Sánchez? She took the most heat for the fashion, the flash, the I fembot label. Her Vogue cover was supposed to be iconic, but became a lightning rod for criticism. And yet, like Jeff, she seems untouchable. She doesn't address the hate. She doesn't need to. She just posts another angle of the dress and keeps moving. So, again, probably not in trouble. What about Charlize Theron? Charlize did what most celebs wouldn't dare. She named names, she dropped F-bombs, she flipped the table, but the reaction was mixed. Some fans called her brave, others dragged her as jealous and attention-seeking, and now her name is trending, not for a role or a film, but for a feud. For someone who usually stays out of Hollywood drama, this was a sharp turn, and it might sting later, especially if brands start pulling back or fans grow fatigued by the outrage. Is Jessica Alba the real one in trouble? Quietly, subtly, Jessica may have taken the biggest hit. Not because she screamed, not because she posted, but because she showed up. As the face of a children's charity, her presence at that wedding sent a message. I care about struggling families unless a billionaire invites me to Venice. And the internet did not forget. The hypocrisy hit hard. And unlike Bezos or Sanchez, Jessica built her brand on ethics, wellness, and social responsibility. So when that image cracks, even just a little, it's not easy to glue back together. And what about us, the viewers, the commenters, the critics? We watched, we judged, we scrolled, and in some ways, we made this wedding bigger than even Jeff Bezos could buy. Maybe that's the point. In a world where outrage drives clicks and gossip fuels platforms, maybe none of them are truly in trouble. Maybe they're winning. The real question is, what does it say about us that we keep watching? If you thought this was wild, wait until you see what happened when celebrities tried to cancel each other over red carpet snubs. This wedding may be over, but the fallout is just beginning. If you think this was messy, wait until you see which A-lister just got exposed for faking their charity work while cashing secret brand deals. Hit subscribe, because the real drama never ends.